In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to use Grants.gov to search for funding opportunities. Now, while Grants.gov is a federal funding opportunities search database, some of the tips that I'll be showing you will also be applicable to other funding databases or other websites where you might look for funding. The first thing you're going to want to do when you go to Grants.gov is to go to the Search Grants tab. This is where you'll find the database to look for funding opportunities. So when you get to the Search Grants tab, you're going to want to do the keyword search first. The keyword search bar can be found in the upper left corner of the screen, at the very top of all the filter section. When you put a keyword in the search bar, I would recommend using just one keyword to start with, because otherwise you'll end up with too few results. So I would start with just one keyword and filter it down from there. Keep in mind that if you put your keyword in quotation marks, that's going to give you fewer results because it'll search for the exact search term. In this example, we're going to be using the search term rural health, and I'm going to use no quotation marks to get more results to do with rural and health. Once you do your keyword search, you might want to filter the results. One filter that you will definitely want to use is the eligibility filter. If you work for county government, I would definitely recommend choosing the county government eligibility filter, but you can also select nonprofit with 501c3 status, unrestricted, and other. This will narrow your results to those that you are eligible for. There are other options for filters if you still have too many results. You can filter by the funding instrument type. So these are going to be things like grants versus contracts. So you can choose to filter by that. There are also options to filter by topic category and by funding agency, but I would recommend leaving those unfiltered for the time being. Next, you're going to want to review the results that you get. You can sort your results in a lot of different ways, but I would recommend two particular ways. First, probably what's going to be the default is sorting by relevance. So this will ideally sort based on which results are most relevant to the search term that you used. Another option is to search by close date. This is really useful if you want to take a look at all the results you got and look for which ones have a due date that's coming up quickly so that you can prioritize those for your applications. Once you've looked at the results, you can also export them using a button or a link at the upper right hand of the page. The results are going to export as a CSV file, which should be able to be accessible through Excel on your computer. And when you get this file, it'll usually have fields including the funding agency, the type of funding opportunity. Basically, all of these things that you could filter on are going to be in that exported file. Another thing to mention, as you're reviewing results before you look into a particular grant opportunity, you can kind of get a sense for which ones might or might not be relevant for you just based on the title of the opportunity itself. So some of them might include a location in that title, and if that location isn't in North Carolina, if it's somewhere else, you can just ignore that result. The other tip I would mention is if the funding opportunity title has in parentheses something like R01 or R21, that refers to research grants from the NIH. So unless you're partnering with a university or some other research institution, you probably aren't going to want to look at those. Next, once you see a grant opportunity in that list of results that looks particularly applicable to you, you can click on that title and view the specific grant opportunity. Once you do that, it'll take you to a new screen with more information about that funding opportunity. You can review a few things about that grant to see if it still really is something that you're interested in. First of all, I would recommend seeing if there are any location restrictions that you didn't see already in the title. You can also look for other eligibility restrictions that may not have been mentioned in the funding title or in the filters that you already set. You should also definitely check the closing date of the opportunity. If the closing date is within the next couple weeks, it's probably too soon for you to even think about applying for this grant, at least for this year, so just go ahead and choose another opportunity. You can also look at the type of funding instrument. Again, this is whether it's a grant or a contract or something else. So if you're looking for something particular, like a grant, this is a way to narrow down your choices as well. One thing that you'll see here that you won't see in the results list is the funding ceiling. And this is just a way of saying the budget cap. So if you have a particular budget in mind for the project that you're thinking of, that's definitely something to review when you're thinking about whether this will work for you. Finally, you should review the description of the funding opportunity. In the description will be a brief overview of what this funding opportunity is intended for, so you can see whether your projects match with what the organization that's providing the funding wants to fund. So once you've gone through all of these and you have an idea that yes, this really is a good funding opportunity for you, you'll want to look for more information about this grant than what's provided in this overview. To do that, you can go to the other tabs in this screen. So one of the tabs that you might want to look at is the Related Documents tab. In here, you're going to find documents to do with this funding opportunity, including perhaps the whole solicitation for the funding opportunity. So you can see all of the details that aren't included in these overview pages. Second, you can look at the Packages tab. Here is where you can go if you want to actually go ahead and apply for the opportunity. It has an overview of everything that you'll need to actually apply for the grant or the contract. And it also has, for some of these opportunities, a link to apply. Thank you so much.